1,120,000 vehicles. That is not a typo. That is not a projection. That is the number of cars Toyota, the single most trusted automotive brand in the history of the United States, has just admitted are dangerous to drive. If you are sitting in a model year 2020 to 2022 Toyota Avalon, Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, or Sienna right now, you need to listen very carefully, because the passenger seat next to you might be a death trap. But here is the terrifying part. The 1.1 million car recall is just the tip of the iceberg. It is merely a symptom of a much deeper systemic rot that has infected the engineering prowess of the Japanese giant. While the headlines are screaming about airbag sensors, they are ignoring a far more catastrophic failure happening inside the engine blocks of their flagship trucks. A failure so severe it requires replacing the entire engine. And there is a secret document, circulated internally among Toyota's top brass in Japan, that suggests they knew about these quality control slips years ago, but prioritized volume over the legendary Kaizen philosophy. By the end of this video, you will understand why the era of the bulletproof Toyota is officially dead, and why your resale value might be about to plummet. Let's look at the immediate crisis. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, has forced Toyota to issue a massive recall covering the core of their lineup. We are talking about the Camry, the Corolla, the RAV4. These are the bread and butter of the American middle class. The issue lies within the OCS, the Occupant Classification System. This is a sensor mat located inside the front passenger seat cushion. Its job is simple but critical. It weighs the passenger. If it detects a child or a small adult, it suppresses the airbag deployment force to prevent injury. If it detects a full-grown adult, it arms the airbag for full deployment. Toyota's supplier for these sensors, utilizing a specific printed circuit board, failed to account for everyday wear and tear. The investigation reveals that the sensors can short-circuit. When that happens, the system defaults to off. That means if you are driving your family on I-95 and you hit a concrete barrier at 60 miles per hour, the passenger airbag will simply not deploy. It won't fire. Zero protection. But why is this happening now? To understand the collapse, we have to look at the supply chain. Toyota does not build every part. They rely on the Kairetsu system, a network of loyal suppliers. In this case, the pressure to reduce costs and increase production speed for the post-pandemic market led to a degradation in the manufacturing tolerances of these printed circuit boards. The insulation on the wires is insufficient.
It cracks. Moisture gets in. Short circuit. But if you think a failing sensor is bad, what is happening to the Tundra and the Lexus LX600 is an engineering nightmare that makes an airbag sensor look like a minor inconvenience. We need to talk about the V35A FTS engine. This is the 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6 that replaced the legendary, unkillable 5.7-liter V8. The 5.7 V8 was a dinosaur, but it was a dinosaur that would run for 1 million miles with basic oil changes. The new V6 was supposed to be the future: more power, more torque, better efficiency. Instead, it is blowing up. And I don't mean it's leaking oil. I mean catastrophic, seizure-inducing failure. Toyota has issued a separate recall for over 100,000 Tundras and Lexus LX models because of machining debris. Let's translate that from corporate PR speak into engineering reality. When an engine block is cast and machined, metal shavings are produced. In a clean, high-standard factory, these shavings are flushed out with extreme prejudice. If even a microscopic piece of metal remains, it is a ticking time bomb. Toyota has admitted that during the production of these engine blocks, metal debris was left inside the oil galleries. Here is the mechanics of the failure. You buy a $75,000 Tundra TRD Pro. You drive it off the lot. As the engine cycles, that oil moves through the system. The metal debris, which was hiding in the crevices of the block, dislodges. It travels to the main bearings. The main bearings are what the crankshaft spins on. They require a perfect film of oil to prevent metal-on-metal contact. The debris gets wedged between the bearing and the crankshaft journal. It scours the metal. Friction spikes instantly. The bearing seizes. The connecting rod, which is moving up and down at thousands of RPM, suddenly has nowhere to go. It snaps. It punches a hole through the side of the engine block. You lose power instantly. No warning light can save you.
The engine is trash. This isn't a software fix. This isn't a sensor swap. This requires lifting the cab off the truck and replacing the entire long block assembly. The labor cost alone is astronomical. Now let's widen the lens to the Grand Highlander and the Lexus TFs. These are brand new vehicles. They were supposed to dominate the three-row SUV segment. Instead, Toyota issued a stop sale. Do you know how much money a stop sale costs a corporation? Every day those cars sit on dealer lots, they are depreciating assets, accumulating floor plan interest. The issue here is the side curtain airbag. In NHTSA testing, they found that when the driver's side window is rolled down, the curtain airbag might deploy partially outside the vehicle during a crash. If the airbag is outside the window, it is not cushioning your head. It is useless.
This forces us to ask, how did this pass internal validation? Toyota has legendary testing grounds in Shibetsu in Arizona. They crash hundreds of cars before production. How did they miss that the airbag goes out the window? To answer that, we have to look at the corporate culture shift. For decades, Toyota operated on Jidoka, automation with a human touch. Any worker on the line could pull the andon cord and stop the entire factory if they saw a defect. Quality was prioritized over quantity. But under the leadership transition and the desperate race to catch up with Tesla in the EV market while maintaining dominance in hybrids, the system has been strained to its breaking point. The rushed development cycles of the TNGA, Toyota New Global Architecture platforms, while engineering marvels for engineering, have introduced complexity that the quality control systems are struggling to contain. Let's look at the financials. Toyota's stock took a hit, but the real damage is in the warranty reserves. Every quarter, automakers set aside money to pay for future repairs. Toyota has had to historically increase these reserves. The cost of replacing 100,000 twin-turbo V6 engines is not just the cost of the metal. It is the cost of the technician's time, the rental cars for angry customers, and the reputational damage that is impossible to quantify. Dealers are furious. I have spoken to master technicians at Toyota dealerships in Texas and Florida. They are overwhelmed. They are telling me that the backlog for parts is months long. Tundra owners are driving loaner Corollas while their $80,000 trucks sit in the backlot waiting for a new heart. And we cannot ignore the Daihatsu scandal. Daihatsu is a wholly owned subsidiary of Toyota. It was revealed that they had been rigging safety tests for over 30 years. They were modifying door linings to pass side impact tests. They were falsifying data. Akio Toyoda, the chairman, had to bow an apology. He stated, "We have lost sight of our founding principles." When the chairman of the company admits they have lost their way, you know the situation is dire. This culture of cutting corners to meet deadlines didn't just stay at Daihatsu. The pressure radiates upwards to the parent company. Let's go back to the 1.1 million vehicle recall for the airbags. The models affected, 2020 to 2022, were built during the height of the supply chain crisis. We all remember the chip shortage. We remember the build-shy strategies where cars were built without certain parts and finished later. It appears that in the scramble to source components, the validation of these OCS sensors was compromised. The supplier, likely ASIN or a sub-tier vendor, changed the manufacturing process of the PCB to increase yield. Toyota's quality gates failed to catch the long-term degradation issue. Now, connect this to the 2009 unintended acceleration crisis. Back then, it was floor mats and sticky gas pedals. It cost Toyota billions and years of trust. They clawed their way back by doubling down on quality. They became the boring but reliable choice again. But this time, it is different. The 2009 crisis was largely panic and floor mats. This time, we have engines exploding due to metal shavings and airbags not deploying due to cheap circuits. These are fundamental manufacturing errors. This is not user error. This is a failure of process. The economic implications for the used car market are staggering. If you own a 2022 Tundra, your trade-in value is shaky. Who wants to buy a truck that might need a new engine, even if it has a warranty? The stigma sticks. The Toyota tax, the premium people pay for the brand because of its reliability, is evaporating. Competitors like Ford and GM are not necessarily doing better, but the gap is closing. If a Toyota is just as reliable as a Chevy, why pay the premium? Let's analyze the fix for the airbag recall. Dealers will inspect the sensors and, if necessary, replace them. But here is the catch: parts availability. With 1.1 million cars affected, do you think they have 1.1 million sensors sitting in a warehouse in Torrance, California? No. It will take months, maybe a year, to work through this backlog. In the meantime, you're driving a car where the passenger airbag might not work. Toyota advises that you should not have anyone sit in the front seat if the SRS warning light is on. That is a practical impossibility for many families. Furthermore, the Grand Highlander stop sale has left dealerships with millions of dollars in frozen inventory. These are high-margin vehicles. The Hybrid Max Platinum trim, the one we are looking at on screen, sells for nearly $60,000. Dealers rely on these sales to keep the lights on. When they can't sell them, they bleed cash. This creates tension between the dealer network and corporate, and when dealers are squeezed, service quality drops. It is a vicious cycle. We also need to discuss the role of complexity. The modern Toyota is a computer on wheels. The OCS sensor is not just a switch. It sends data to the ECU, which talks to the body control module, which coordinates with the hybrid system. The more lines of code, the more points of failure. The Tundra's V6 engine is a marvel of complexity compared to the old V8. Twin turbos, electronic wastegates, complex thermal management. The more you add, the more can break. Toyota's legendary reliability was built on simplicity. The 4Runner has been using the same 4.0 V6 and 5-speed transmission for 15 years. That is why it is reliable.
As Toyota is forced by EPA regulations to adopt turbos and hybrids across the board, they are losing that simplicity advantage. The 1.1 million recall is a wake-up call. It is a signal that the Toyota way is struggling to scale in a world of supply chain instability and regulatory pressure. The fact that metal debris, basic manufacturing waste, was left inside the engines of their most important truck launch in a decade is inexcusable. It suggests that the factory floor oversight is slipping. It suggests that the speed of the assembly line has become more important than the cleanliness of the block. So what does this mean for you? If you are in the market for a used Toyota from 2020 to 2023, you need to run the VIN, not just for accidents, but for open recalls. You need to demand proof that the Tundra engine recall was performed or that the VIN is not affected. You need to check if the OCS sensor has been replaced. The days of blindly buying a Toyota and assuming it will run forever are over. You have to do your due diligence. There is a silver lining, however. Toyota is one of the few companies with the cash reserves to fix this. They will spend the billions. They will replace the engines. They will swap the sensors. Akio Toyoda takes this personally. His name is on the building. The question is not whether they will fix the cars. They will. The question is whether they can fix the culture that allowed these cars to leave the factory in the first place. Look at the Grand Highlander again. It is a beautiful machine. It drives wonderfully. It has incredible fuel economy for its size. But beauty and efficiency mean nothing if the safety systems fail. The curtain airbag issue is currently under an urgent redesign. They are developing a new retention bracket to keep the bag inside the cabin. Until that part is manufactured, shipped, and installed, those cars are bricks. In conclusion, the death of the Bulletproof Toyota is not hyperbole. It is a reality check. The data, 1.12 million recalled for airbags, 102,000 for engines, stop sales on flagship SUVs, paints a clear picture. The invincibility shield is gone. Toyota is now just another car company fighting to maintain quality in a chaotic world. They are mortal, and for the millions of Americans who put their trust and their families in these vehicles, that is a very unsettling realization. Drive safe, check your VINs, and do not ignore that airbag light.